Extremist movie debate. Extremist movie debate. Extremist movie debate.
Welcome to the Extremist Movie Debate.
I am Joe.
I'm Ethan, and one of us is going to love it, one of us is going to hate it.
Oh, wait, movie.
There
It's
you go.
The Three Kings. It got 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, let's see who loves it and hates it then, Alex. I love it.
I hate it. David O. Russell's an asshole. And hey,
That's
guys,
true.
just so you know, don't try to start a war with us after the war is over. There are spoilers ahead.
They didn't try to start a war.
Well, they kind of did. They were going to
ceasefire.
steal all of the gold. What would you call it?
They weren't going to hurt anybody.
Okay, let's do the
It looks
question.
like they did.
A peaceful
Guys,
robbery.
Guys,
No
we're on a mission here.
casualties.
Okay,
That's the
so
intention.
let's go with Robert Horton from Film.com. Three Kings manages to venture into places that most American films never go. Does it, Ethan?
Does it venture into places that most American films never go?
Yep.
Oh, 100%. This movie is a war movie that is about humanity. It's a war movie that isn't about, you know, like the last 5 seconds of Full Metal Jacket where they're like, oh shit, it was a kid that was shooting us, and all of a sudden the movie resonates, finally. Like, this movie has that the entire time. The end of the first act, all of a sudden, like, oh, we're just gonna go steal gold, and then all of a sudden everybody's getting slaughtered, and this woman gets killed, and there's her daughter standing right there over a dead body. It's like, oh, maybe we should stop being assholes who just care about robbing these people, and maybe we should put a little bit of ourselves on the line and try to help them, despite what it means for us. A la going to jail and possibly dying, losing all the money. But it becomes important to them because they start seeing these people as human, you know. They spend the first part of this movie talking about, you know, just say towel head, not whatever, sand coon or something like that. And it becomes more relevant all of a sudden when, you know, everybody starts seeing them as people instead of stereotypes, and instead of just, oh, you're an enemy, you're waving a white flag but you have a gun, I'm gonna shoot
Joe,
you, like in
30
the first
seconds.
scene.
So you're talking about how this movie, like, no American movie's ever done something like that, whereas Clint Eastwood...
No.
Oh, shh, now your turn. Clint Eastwood, within the last 10 years, made a movie from Iwo Jima's perspective. So American movies have done this, where they've built up empathy and sympathy and humanized the other side with war movies. So it's been done. So that's something American movies have been doing and have done for a really long time. And on top of that, these soldiers never should have been there to begin with. So this movie's just based around these assholes, essentially because they're assholes, they've created a much bigger issue for people around them.
I gave Joe an extra 10 seconds for the interruption, but Ethan, 15 seconds.
Was Letters from Iwo Jima in English or in Japanese?
It was made by an American filmmaker.
What language did they speak through the entirety of the movie?
That doesn't make any.
It was Japanese.
Doesn't make any difference.
Next.
Is that it?
15 seconds, Joe.
Okay, so Clint Eastwood, an American filmmaker, iconic American filmmaker,
You like Gran Torino a lot?
it followed Flags of Our Fathers, which was the American perspective, with Iwo Jima. So they're companion pieces from an American filmmaker.
Or did Flags of Our Fathers follow Iwo Jima?
All right, let's move on.
It was the other way around.
It's moving on. All right.
the
David
correction.
Sterrett from the Christian Science Monitor.
Good.
Best place for movie reviews. The overall shallowness of Three Kings is especially regrettable since so much genuine talent has gone into the picture. Joe, is this movie the kiddie pool or the deep end? And where does the talent involved normally like to swim?
So I think that's the issue, is you have somebody like Jamie Kennedy. You have Jamie Kennedy in this movie. You have Jim Gaffigan in this movie. Two notable comedians.
Don't forget Elias Shawkat.
No, she's not a notable comedian. Jamie Kennedy and Jim Gaffigan, notable stand-up comedians. They're hilarious. Are they funny in this movie? No, they're not funny in this movie because David O. Russell's just trying to use their name. He's trying to use their brand against essentially our perception. So he's using our expectations against us to try to make this subversive movie that's not actually all that subversive. He's just saying, like, hey, you're used to this funny guy. Well, guess what? He's in a gritty war movie now, and he's not going to be funny. It's kind of like what Quentin Tarantino did with Mike Myers, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just let the audience have the expectations they want, and that's the way you're going to make an enjoyable, touching movie if you actually connect with people. But when you're just trying to fuck with people like that, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And on top of that, George Clooney, it's famous about how David O. Russell tried to break George Clooney of his bad habits. George Clooney sucked in this movie. There's a reason why George Clooney is famous, and it's because of the habits that he has in all of his movies. His little specific tics, that's what makes George Clooney George Clooney.
Jim Gaffigan is in this movie, billed as cuts Troy's cuffs. He has no lines, really.
Yes, he does.
He has one look, and he was not an established comedian when this began.
Yes, he was.
Jamie Kennedy was in this movie, absolutely, because he was on the X Factor, I assume. But also because he was easily a scapegoat for being a stupid military guy without being an offensively stupid military guy, because everybody knows Jamie Kennedy is an idiot. Let's put him into this role, and nobody's going to criticize us for being offensive or insensitive. So that they get away with, and it works out really well for this movie so that they can tell the bigger picture of we need these certain characters.
I mean, notable comedians, Jim Gaffigan had lines. I don't know what Ethan's talking about. He's just trying to subvert your expectations on what this movie is trying to give you.
Ethan, 15 seconds.
I'll give you $5 if you can give me a direct quote of what Jim Gaffigan's line was in this movie.
Okay? Something like that. He's like, can I?
I think that counts. I'm sure he said that at some point.
now.
Nope, he did not say that at any point.
Hey, who's got the bacon?
He said nothing.
He has a line.
Oh, well, shucks.
100%.
4 minutes, guys.
Like seriously,
That was wow.
Like what was
fast.
what was enjoyable about this? This movie's not enjoyable. It's like
What
it's
was
supposed
not
to be like
enjoyable about this movie?
it's supposed to be
This movie is
subversive and
about-
kind of funny. It's like
This movie is such a
it was
perfect
Ice Cube's way
redemption
to
arc.
break into like serious filmmaking, but he's just essentially playing a caricature
sorry,
of
no, that was Friday.
Ice Cube. What are you talking about?
That was Friday.
Well, this came right after Friday, and it's essentially
No, it did not.
No. Ice Cube is still playing the character of Ice Cube because he based Friday on his life. Whereas this movie, he's trying to break into mainstream serious film,
And he succeeds
And no,
admirably.
because
This
he
movie
just-
is essentially
he just plays
about-
Ice Cube again.
This movie
He's
is
just
about
playing
an
that same
assortment of
character.
aggressive assholes who want to go and take
Mark
advantage
Wahlberg,
of underprivileged people.
Mark Wahlberg's just playing the exact same character, and George Clooney's playing the
Look,
character.
Mark
that
Wahlberg
he
is the only
wants to
person I'll
be.
give you that's like, oh, maybe they're trying to break in, because this was around the same time as Boogie Nights. He's
What are you
still
talking
trying
about?
to,
Trying?
there's still a
It's the
scene in
exact
this
same
movie
thing.
where they gotta have him with the shirt off, like he's trying to break out of that Marky Mark
after
vibe.
Batman and Robin, all of these guys, this is essentially mysterious skin for all of these actors because they all done fucked up and they're trying to like make amends with their careers.
Mysterious Skin, good pull.
I know.
No one's talked about that movie.
I know, but that's what I'm
since
saying.
A week after it came out.
Here's a child actor who wants to break into adult, like not adult films, but like
I'm sorry, that movie was
mature,
called 10
like,
Things I Hate About
cinemas.
You.
So that's what they're trying to do. They have to do this crazy and Ryan Gosling did The Believer. He played a neo-Nazi in The Believer because they have to do this like really gritty,
You're
dark,
missing United States of Leland.
gritty. Nope, Believer came before that.
False.
Nope, not false.
Don't
came before.
know.
So what?
Don't know.
You don't know.
No one does.
So yes, I do. So that's what. So they do these roles, these gritty, like subversive, like movies that are supposed to make you feel like shit to try to break into like mature, like serious filmmaking, and that's what these three actors are doing, and it's so blatantly obvious what they're doing, and that is so irritating.
I thought George Clooney was perfect in this. I thought Mark Wahlberg had to overcome his sexiness, but that's just inherent in who Marky Mark is. So I
Overcome his
understand
sexiness.
that.
Is that why they had a shot of him with no shirt on, just sprinting,
that's what I'm
flexing his
saying.
entire body?
It's like
that's what
If
it
you're
is.
gonna have any complaint about this movie at all, I will say it is the gratuitous sexiness of Mark Wahlberg, which is not really a valid complaint because he's sexy as balls.
That is bananas. I don't have any idea what you're trying to say.
Do you think that it's a?
Why does that make you love this
so
movie?
bad that this movie takes a bunch of assholes and has a redemption arc where they, all of a sudden come to care about this very same people that they were originally taking advantage of?
Here's the problem.
Why is that
This
such a
movie-
bad thing to have in our current culture?
I think this
Why is
movie
that such a bad thing to have
the
when we
movie-
talk so much
Well,
about
our current
refugees?
This movie came out in like 2002 or something.
And it was still
on top of
relevant then. It came out in 1999.
Okay, that's right. But no, at this
But this
point,
was also
okay,
when we
but
were
at this
constantly
point-
talking about weapons
listen,
of mass destruction, and
at this
Saddam Hussein
point-
was ignoring all of our requests.
Okay.
And he wasn't
This movie
giving
is
us any
trying-
tours.
This movie is trying way, way too hard. I already explained why the three actors are trying way too hard. They're just trying to break into serious films.
It's your opinion.
David O. Russell made one movie before this, Flirting with Disaster, which was a failed comedy that nobody wanted to see.
So
then he
disagree.
jumps.
I loved
He
it.
jumps right
I'm a
into.
huge fan.
So he jumps right into Three Kings, which is supposed to be this dark, gritty war movie that's not a war movie, but it's kind of a war movie. But he's essentially just trying to make a statement. But it's just like, no, dude, you're just trying to be like offensive and subversive just so people will pay attention to you and you can have a career. Like everybody in this movie is just the first act of the movie without any other redeeming qualities.
What part of this movie offended you?
The whole thing, they're just stealing people. American soldiers would not do that.
Okay, so you're describing the first act.
American soldiers, yeah, but
How about the second
American
and the
soldiers,
third?
Look,
How about
American-
the third where
but
they
no, American
sacrifice their
soldiers-
lives,
okay,
or
hey.
at least at the very best potential prison time to get people to cross a border so that they can live?
See, that's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. That's what American soldiers would do. They wouldn't do all this stuff at the beginning. They wouldn't go to steal gold. They wouldn't strap.
They made a bad decision. First off,
They wouldn't do that.
Fucking awesome because it's Goonies in the Middle East.
But no,
but
Ethan,
also
but that's-
it becomes a better movie
Let's
than
leave
the
it there.
Goonies.
Let's leave it there. Let's get real, guys. Let's get real.
It's real good. It
Oh,
does.
yeah,
it
it's a
does.
great movie.
Was this shot? Is this like the beginning of the digital era? Is this like Danny Boyle made 28 Days Later? I think I should shoot this on a digital camera
I don't think so, but maybe.
because it really looks like
It does.
shit.
No,
It
it
looks
does.
like it was shot in an early Canon XLR, whatever the fuck those cameras were called, and it does a lot of really dumb things with frame rates and with color schemes and clouds moving up above people. Like a lot of stuff that looks like I'm experimenting with my new camera that looks terrible and seems terrible. So much so that the movie actually starts off with a little a title card that says, "Hey guys, don't send back your DVD. There's nothing wrong with your movie. This is just the
What?
director's terrible decision to do this." Yeah, it says something like, "There are moments in this movie where there are like color scheme changes and frame rate changes that are used to emphasize the moments of emotion in this movie. Do not adjust your television," kind of shit. Like, you should not have to say that at the beginning of your movie when you have something that's so jarring and stupid in your movie.
I like the visuals.
That
You didn't
aside,
like 'em?
the movie's fucking no. I hated that.
I like the
that. That
visuals.
just took you completely out of a scene, but it was a great movie, and the story holds up despite the experimental bullshit that David O. Russell did. I mean, he calmed down. Obviously, all of his movie sins are
I
pretty
think
great.
this is one of his better movies.
It is.
This one is way better than American Hustle.
It doesn't mean that it did everything perfect. Those are very questionable decisions.
They're pretty cool. I mean, they're bold, but that's the thing. He ran
They're
with it.
bold.
You might not like it, but at least he did it
Yep.
boldly.
I respect
And
that.
he fucking doesn't back down from it.
Yeah, not like we're making movies, so good for him. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's fantastic and especially relevant now.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, and that's the
That's
thing.
why you wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it because we blew up a mosque. Like 4 weeks
Allegedly.
ago. Allegedly.
It's possible.
America allegedly blew up a mosque. And I saw that, and the first thing that came into my head was the whole scene where they make where they make Mark Wahlberg drink oil, and he's talking about how oh, do you have a wife and child? Oh, mine died because you guys bombed them. And I just thought of that scene, and I was like, we should capitalize on this tragedy. That's what I thought.
I don't think anyone will ever accuse us of capitalizing on something.
But no, it made me think of it. And I just wanted to watch this movie again just because of our current political climate, and I figure if I'm going to watch it,
Sure.
might as well do this.
I'm really glad you did. I'd never seen it.
no, and yeah, after I heard that, have you seen it? What do you think of it?
It's only been 15 years since I've seen it, so let's just say
Let's talk about it shot by
hated
shot. Why did
Highly
you hate
paid,
it?
highly paid.
I want
intern
specifics.
Alex loved it. Big George Clooney fan back there.
Yeah, I just remember Clooney, Wahlberg, lots of smiles, lots of grimaces, and lots of sand. That's about it.
You watched
my
Jarhead.
I think I actually missed that one.
Jarhead's real good.
Jarhead is real good.
No, I did. I watched it because there was the scene where there was a sex tape, I think, that everybody got to watch.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's like, yeah, he's got his watch again. And everybody's like, you're an asshole.
Yeah, I just remember the best bits of the movie. The rest can be thrown out.
Do not remember that.
Well, actually, speaking of the visuals, which is kind of funny, is when I was watching this, I kind of forgot about the part where the truck tips and slides and then falls, right when they get taken into the tunnels. And they always used that shot right there when it was converting from from VHS to DVD, and that was the shot. It was always like, "Are you sick of VHS? It's VCRs. Try DVD." And it would just do the split screen of VHS, DVD, and it was always just that shot
Followed by John
of the
McClane jumping
truck,
through a window.
something like that.
Yeah.
But it was just now that you're and I always thought that was kind of a weird choice, because it's just no, you guys just turned up the colors on that one. There's not a whole this is a grainy as shit movie, which I like because I think he did it intentionally because it's the war setting, so he's trying to make a war movie. Good on David O. Russell, and that's what he's doing.
Another thing they did really well in this movie, obviously I've never been to war, but I feel like this movie that has them very casually walking and talking and being very calm in a situation where everybody else around them is getting murdered, and it feels like you get that real sense of chaos when everything that they're doing, shouldn't they be running? Shouldn't they be taking shelter, fighting for their lives? And it's, from talking to veterans and people who have actually served, it's like, nah, it's not always like that. Sometimes shit is just happening around you, and you're just carrying on with your day. So
Let's do some scores, guys.
I'd give this movie a 9 out of 10. A lot of thunder.
9 out of 10, a lot of thunder. Yeah. You can go ahead and like and subscribe, comment below, and if you want us to do a future movie, request it below in a comment, and you can also write down a question you'd like us to debate about with that movie. And unpaid intern Jeff or our friend paid intern Alex will go ahead.
Is Jeff not your friend? Because you always preface my name with friend.
Well, I mean, he's absolutely our friend, but he's
a colleague.
Also horribly our unpaid intern.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for
you,
watching
Jeff.
the Extremist movie debate. Have a good one.
Thanks.